Hello, everyone. Okay, welcome to Indie Filmmaking 101 with me, Vivian Lei, and Jingqi Zhang, co-presented by Legends Animated. We want to start off some quick housekeeping rules. I will post them in the chat. When asking questions, please keep in mind we'd like to get through as much as possible. So please, if you keep the questions relevant and using the chat box, that'd be great. I'll be checking in with you all throughout the presentation. So please let us know if you have any questions. This is intended for people who are passionate about making films, but maybe didn't go to school or don't know how to start. We hope to share how you can make a film from start to finish. And yeah, this is a quick reminder that this event will be recorded, but not all events will be. So recorded events will be uploaded to the Asians in Animation YouTube channel. And then let's get started. Okay. First, it's my pleasure to introduce Leslie Ezup, board member of Legends Animated, to tell us about her amazing organization.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vivian. And hello, everyone. As Vivian mentioned, my name is Leslie Ezup. I'm one of the board members at Legends Animated, which is a nonprofit animation company that fosters and promotes independent animation through its services, namely fiscal sponsorships for independent animation productions, co-productions with other nonprofits, and capacity support for organizations and events that promote independent animation. So as you see on the slide here, feel free to visit our link tree if you'd like more details about us. Within the link tree is an interest form where you can fill it out if you'd like to receive updates about our upcoming productions, as well as job and volunteer opportunities from Legends Animated, as well as its partners. And with that said, on behalf of Legends Animated, I'd like to welcome you again to this panel. It's our pleasure to co-present this panel with Asians in Animation, a panel that is very highly aligned with our mission statement. And with that, I'll give the floor to Vivian and Jingqi.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to now move on to Jingqi Zhang. Thank you. Feel free to introduce yourself.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Thanks for coming. I'm really appreciate this opportunity. And I just graduated from CalArts this year in May, and I'm a storyboard artist, and I'm working on game boards feature and TV boards, and also some commercial boards. I saw some familiar face in the group, in the participants. I guess everyone like some of you guys are from CalArts, I believe, and well, in CalArts you need to make film every year. So I'm glad that like I could have finished my film every year. So for now I have 4 independent animation shorts. And then I'm very proud of, and I will be very glad to share my experience with you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Okay, hi. Thank you, Jingqi. I am Vivian. I'll be your captain today. Like Jingqi, I went to school for animation. That's where I learned how to make my own animated films. I want to preface that there are multiple ways to make a film, and these are based on our own experiences. A little about me, I'm a storyboard artist, but I like to consider myself in this space a fan of dogs, comics, and stories that are a little bit silly. I feel like it's important to mention these things because when making your independent films, they tend to be personal. That's what's so great about them. It's an opportunity to discover your own storytelling voice with a medium that resonates with you. So for me, I like drawing sequential images and how much information you can get from them. I'm also a visual learner, so I've always interpreted the world that way. I also like to draw and write, so yeah, animation is perfect for me. Okay, next, why make an independent film? There are a lot of reasons. There are practical reasons, there are personal ones. Everyone's reasons are going to be different. Some practical reasons that I've been told going to panels by people in development, sometimes it's a proof of concept for an idea that you have. It's also as proof that you can finish something on a deadline. If you're looking to pitch a show, then it's a small snippet of what you are imagining that an executive can see. The films can also be submitted to festivals, which I hear can be a great way for people who want to become directors, showrunners, even writers, or even to get agents to find opportunities. Making a film is also a digestible way to show people what you're about and what you like to make. For me personally, I think making independent films is more for myself. I don't mean just for myself to watch, but like an exploration of my thoughts. I share them for fun, and if it connects with people, awesome. Even if it's just like my mom or something. I do it because I learn something new about me every time I make one. Every time I start making a film, I think I know how to tell a story, and then I quickly realize I don't. This is also going to sound cheesy, but you can make something you want to see more of. You don't have to wait for a network or a teacher or anyone to tell you. You can make your OCs a reality and share them with the world. So yeah, any questions so far? Anyone? Yeah, exactly. OCs. You can put them into your films. You can make them move and real. You don't have to wait for anyone to tell us, oh, OC is an original character. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay, awesome. I guess then hop on a board while I hope you navigate the stormy waters that is independent filmmaking. I'm going to separate this presentation into 3 categories: pre-production, production, and post-production. This might mean something else to someone working at a studio, but for your own film, it can be whatever you want. This is how I separated the 3. Pre-production for an animated short are all the things you're going to need to go into production, which can be storyboards, designs, but most importantly, your idea. Now that you have all your materials, you can go into production. For an animated project, that would be when you animate all your scenes, or for a live action film, it would be when you film all your shots. The amount of time you need for animation versus live action are different, but I'll go into the details of each stage of the animation pipeline in the later parts of the presentation. Post-production is when you have all your scenes completed. They're animated, clean, colored. Now you're just looking to put it all together. This is when you can add sound effects or special visuals. Does that make sense so far? Any questions? Anyone? Okay, cool. Moving on. Pre-production. All of these, thank you. All of these steps can be done all at once or one after the other. As you make your film, you get a sense of what works best for you. At school, we're given about 8 months to finish a film ranging from 1 to 7 minutes long. Depending on how complex your film is, you might need more or less time. We then plan out our schedules using Google Sheets or Excel or even a notebook. Whatever works for you is fine. In my example on the screen, I put my days of the week, date, and then the task scheduled out. I block out some days where I had scheduling conflicts, like a wedding, and then put in the tasks that need to be done. I mark those in a cell right next to it in green, and then like if they're incomplete or need to be gotten to, it's either gray or white, and then things that I'm currently in progress of working on is yellow. The colors or whatever you decide them to be, they're just a visual marker for where in the process you are. So of these 8 months, we spend about 5 of those months working on pre-production, maybe 2.5 months on production, and then around 2 weeks on post-production. Hopefully that helps give you a ballpark of how you block out your schedule. It really does vary from person to person. Yes, I am sharing my screen. Hopefully you can see it. All right. Next. All right, so we are at pre-production, initial idea and concept. So yes, making a film, you might feel lost at sea, stranded on an island, not knowing how to get out. So first you got to build like a boat. In this metaphor, that means starting with your idea. If you already have an idea, then go for it. That's awesome. But if you don't know how to start or what to write, I'd like to start with all the things that you like. Start a stream of conscious writing of experiences you'd like to share. Or for like my first film, I literally went to a Christmas tree lot, which I love, and I love holidays, and saw a cage with a turkey and a mouse, and the mouse kept stealing food from this turkey turkey's bowl and the turkey just sat there and watched the whole time. And I thought this idea was so strange and funny that I had to make a film about it. So yeah, for there, hopefully you'll be able to write out 3 to 5 concepts or stories that can be condensed into a sentence each about what you'd like to explore, and then give yourself a deadline when you need to decide by. Some people like to combine their concepts with mood boards, which are like a collection of images of books, comics, whatever, paintings, things that inspire your idea visually into one place. People who use like Miro, Pinterest, or a folder of images on their desktop. Some people even use printouts that they put on their wall, whatever works for you. If you like to keep all your thoughts and ideas organized, you can even use a cinematic pitch, which is a slideshow like this, or some form of deck where you can draw all your inspiration from your favorite films. You'd maybe start off with a log line, which is 1 or 2 sentences max on what your film is going to be about. Then using existing film and characters, you can then inspire your film and characters. You even get to thinking about lighting and style of shooting since you're using existing film. I'm going to show an example in the next slide. So this is from a friend's cinematic pitch. She looked up images on ShotDeck, which is a paid service where you can find film stills. A free resource for film stills would be FilmGrab. I also use Google Images or take screenshots off of YouTube. For this, she was inspired by the lighting, color, and general vibe of the images for her film. Some of them are like her favorite films too. Yeah. Any questions so far? Taking a look. All right. Okay, cool. All right, so now that you have your concept, it's time to flesh out the story or the progression of your film. Some people like to plan using just beats they've written out, sometimes even just sentences on flashcards to plan out the scenes. Other people will write a paragraph outline going into the general plot. Others will agonize over an entire script. That's me. For script writing, there are a lot of free resources like Celtics and Writer Duet. I believe the industry uses a paid software called Final Draft. There are a lot of different rules about how to write a script, but since this is for you, you don't need to learn about all the industry specifics. What's important is the location, time of day, the characters, and a brief description of the location, actions that are happening, and the dialogue. What I like about writing scripts is it helps me see how long the film might be. A page of script varies by how much you write, but for me, it would be about a minute of screen time per page. So if my script is 6 pages, I know my film will be about 6 minutes long. So from there, I can decide what to cut or add. And so like for my first year film, I knew I wanted it to be 1.5 minutes. So I had to cut down all my pages to a page and a half as much as I could. The most important thing about choosing how you write is just figuring out what happens throughout the film and how much into the storytelling you want to get into. Some films are abstract and might not need a whole script. Its intention might be to just convey emotions or visuals, but if you have an in-depth character arc where layers of subtext are needed to show that change, an elaborate script might be needed. But again, just do what works for you. How y'all doing? Get it so far? All make sense? Okay, cool. All right. I love you. Okay. Anyway, voice recording can happen at various points, but I find it most helpful before I go into boarding so that I know how long a scene will take. For recording, I use a free app on my phone for recording. Others can use mics or other professional hardware. You can be as fancy as you want. When considering what kind of voices you want, giving a potential voice actor a few adjectives like cold, a drunk, sarcastic in your call helps. If you have a specific tone of voice like high, low, femme, masculine, or for those who know music, soprano, tenor, bass can be helpful. Sorry, it's my dog. For sourcing or finding voice actors, the internet is your oyster. You can put an open call Instagram connected to a Google form or post flyers around your neighborhood, or just ask your friends whose voices you feel would match the personalities of your characters. The hardest part for me was casting children, because most of the time I didn't have relatives or worked around them. So it took some time to find someone willing. Once you find your voice actors, you can get set up a Zoom or in-person record session. Some voice actors I've worked with had their own equipment, so we could schedule a time where we'd meet up and I'd direct them as they went through the different line takes. When directing voice actors, there are multiple ways to do it, but I've been told what's helpful is to describe the situation they're in, and the actor will bring in the emotion that you need, instead of saying like, can you make this sadder? There will be times when it's just easier to show the voice actor what you want with your own read, but feel out what works for you. Okay, looks like no questions. Awesome. Okay, so another thing to consider, do you imagine your film will have music or sound? I wanted to have my Christmas film with like background music, but I didn't want too much sound effects. I had a friend who wanted Animal Crossing voices for their film. There are royalty-free websites online that you can Google and do the sound and music yourself. But you could do the same thing with your finding a voice actor and source from people on social media or your community. It helps to have samples of temporary songs and sounds you're thinking of for your potential composer and sound designer, and having your film to as close to final length as possible. We good? Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, more pre-production. So following my lost at sea metaphor, we have our blueprints for making the ship. Now we need wood. We're collecting components to put all of this together. That's where we get into design for the film. Part of why I like having a script is so that you can see what you need to design. You'll know exactly all the locations, what if it's inside, outside, what you'll need to draw. You'll know what characters you need, what props you have to design. For my film, I had to design a Christmas tree lot, a dumpster, the turkey's location, the main characters, and side characters. And for props, it was like a Christmas card and popcorn. So yeah, you can see some of that here. These don't need to be finalized yet, but getting your roughs down will help you when you move on to the next step. Yeah. Okay, all right, storyboards. So you got all your supplies for the boat, time to make the sails. Once you get the gist of your designs down, you can move on to storyboards. Using your script or whatever writing you had, you can start to draw really loose thumbnails of your shots. I use Storyboard Pro or TV Paint, but you can do this on Procreate or even on boxes on a piece of paper. Maybe give yourself a week or two for your thumbnails, then maybe a month for your roughs or cleans. The amount of time will vary depending on how long your film is. And the level of cleans you need to get to also vary based off of the same thing. The important thing is like how clean it needs to be is how easy is it for you to animate off of it. I personally don't get too clean with my boards since I'll tie everything down during the animating stage of the production. Okay, we good? Okay. All right. So now that your boards are ready, we're gonna wait, hold up. You're not ready to set sail yet. Actually, to help with animating, you'll want to time your finalized boards out. If you haven't already plugged in your music or voice recording, this would be a time to do that. You'll put in your voices, temp music, sound, temp sound. It's hard to get the exact timing you want, but try to get as close as you can. Usually leaving more room than you think helps, because when you animate, you'll realize you didn't have enough time for your character acting to read. Tools I use are Premiere Pro in the Adobe Suite and Storyboard Pro. I have friends who use After Effects, and even a friend who just records themselves pitching their boards in real time, like on their computer, and then they record with their phone, and then they upload that to the computer as just their animatic. You don't need fancy equipment. It does make it faster, but it doesn't stop you from making a film. So yeah, I wanted to show you a bit of my animatic. Let's see if it will let me click it. Yes. So yeah, so it's pretty loose, it's really rough. I'm just timing it out, like, oh, how much time will all these moments need to take? Yeah, it's just for me. So whatever's clear to me works. Yeah, so the review, yeah. Okay, cool. That's as much as I wanted to show. Okay, cool. All right. Oh, they went back to animatic. Okay, cool. So you are ready to set sail. Before you leave your island, you can try and test your boat first to see if everything's working. Pipeline test is recommended for this. If you're crunched on time, taking a shot in your film and completing it from beginning to end, you can see I did mine pretty roughly. I'll show you a bit of it later. We'll give you an estimate of how long each shot will take you. For my last year film, I wanted to animate on photos that I took, and I chose a shot I knew I wouldn't change or that it wouldn't get cut. And then I put it all together to see how long it would take or how it might look. After doing this, I found this was too slow for my deadline and changed my backgrounds to digital painting instead of photos. But I wouldn't have known that early on if I hadn't done my pipeline test. So yeah, I will show you a bit of it. It's just yeah, that was my pipeline test. Ooh. Ah, cool. All right, now we can get into production. Oh, thank you. Now we can get into production. So we're sailing over those waters now. And what can make it smoother is having a map, or in this case, a shot list. It's another Excel sheet or organized list of shots that you'll need to animate. By this point, you'll have your scenes finalized for the most part. Things do change, and that's okay. But let's assume you have the scenes down. The list, which I'll show you an example of, will have all your scenes written out and the number of shots in those scenes. A scene is usually one location where a lot of action happens, and a shot for me, at least, is a contained portion of the scene before a cut. Once there's a cut, I'll consider that the next shot. Then I'll separate each shot out into the amount of work it needs done for it, like the finalized background, rough animation, clean animation, color, things like that. I'll show you an example here. Okay. So this is for my friend. On the left, she has all her scenes separated and all the shots numbered. She even put notes of what each scene is about to help her remember. She then put the tasks on the right with all the colors. Again, each color means something, like how complete that task is. Yeah. Looks like there are no questions so far. But cool. So for animating, hopefully by this time you've already decided what animation style you want, like stop motion, puppets, traditional, 2D, 3D. And when picking which shots to animate first, I go for the ones I feel like. I like to jump around and go for the easiest ones first to get them out as soon as possible. I have friends who just like to go straight ahead. Give yourself plenty of time, like at least 2 months or so, if following my schedule. I like to have all my layouts and backgrounds finalized first before I animate on top of them. Because I tend to choose 2D animation as my film style, I'd roughly animate each shot, which could take about a couple weeks or longer. Then afterwards, clean up shots based on what's easiest for me. You get to decide the level of clean you want, but that'll be the final line work that ends up in your film. I use TV Paint for my animation, but I have friends who have used Procreate, After Effects, Tube Harmony, Blender, Maya, even charcoal on paper. Depending on your animation style, how you color your animation may be different, but if you're using a software like me, there are usually tools for coloring your animation in them. I think I saw a question. Okay, so some people use Photoshop to board, especially feature films. Do you have any thoughts on that? What are the pros and cons? That's a good question. So this is for personal independent films, like it's for you. So if working in Photoshop is faster and easier and intuitive for you, or it's the only software that you have, then go for it. It is there's a lot of tutorials online on how to do layer comps, which is a way to storyboard on Photoshop. Or another way to do it is just creating an independent Photoshop file per scene. I think it just what works for you. So maybe some cons is it might be slower than say like Storyboard Pro or TV Paint, but if you are more familiar with Photoshop, then actually that might be faster for you. Yeah, and with Photoshop, it has some of like the bells and whistles of like special editing effects, but I don't know, for independent film, I personally don't think that's necessary. All right, so compositing. Your shots are done, or almost. If you want to have special effects on your shots like lighting, shadows, you would put this together in your compositing stage. I have friends who use After Effects, or some just use tools straight out of TV Paint. You'll see some of it later, I believe, in Jingqi's breakdowns. Some cool compositing stuff. All right, and then editing. You've reached your destination. You're no longer lost at sea, but you've realized on your journey there were routes that could have been better. So, and let me know if I'm losing you guys with the metaphor. This is where you put all your finalized shots together. I put mine in Premiere Pro. Here's where I tend to notice certain shots can be cut shorter, or I messed up and forgot to color a certain frame. I can go back in and fix those mistakes. All right, sound. So all the movements and shots, they're looking great. Finally, you can plug in any sound you might have. This is where you or your sound designer can adjust small timing stuff, your composer too. Yeah, you just import your final music. Yeah, no worries. Okay, so the talk is about an hour. The presentation, will it be posted online later? I'm not sure. I just know that it is being recorded, and that if it does get online later, it will be on the Asians in Animation YouTube channel. Okay, awesome. You're done. Okay, you've sailed the high seas, you finished your film. And for those of you who want to share your work, posting on social media is great. You can also submit your work to festivals. A lot of the big ones cost money to enter, but some of my friends use Film Freeway to maybe find free ones. I'm gonna post that there, Film Freeway. And then, yeah. And now I'm gonna hand it off to my co-captain, Jingqi, to talk about her breakdowns for her short film, So Long Kaz. I'm gonna stop
Oh my
screen
God,
share,
I'm
and
so
you're gonna screen share, right?
okay. Okay,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. See you.
I'm kind of nervous. Hope I
You're all
didn't break
good. You're all
anything.
good.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Vivian.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wait a second. So as Vivian said, um, first is pre-production, and I will try to break it down. And for me, there are a bunch of like character design, and also the idea took me like more than half a month, because you say for you like the idea comes up like right after. I was like, oh wow, I couldn't. I basically spent on the like to revise my story like for 3 months. Yeah, and until the time until our workshop teacher told us no, you couldn't revise it anymore, otherwise you probably won't be able to finish it. So I kind of set it down. First let me show. Wait, let me find some pre-production stuff. I didn't expect it. I will show it, but after uh say your presentation, I think it will be fun. Yeah. Um. So I use Pure Riff. Yeah, here. You can see this is the very early version of CAS, and it's this is my sketches, and there's all the cute stuff so around it. It's not my art. It's just some reference. And it's for CAS story. Originally, it's inspired by Alice in Wonderland, like this this is my very first like image. I was, oh yeah, that's exactly what I want, but maybe not a rabbit. And here are some reference images because I know I want a big tree. This my very first time tree, the clock tree version. And here's some like color reference. Like I don't have at that point I don't have anything in mind like specifically. So I try my best to grab everything I like and put it together. And here are some here are some film screenshots like I really like, and I hope to compose some shots like this in my film. I probably forgot later, but I just put it there for a reminder. Yeah, this is my very very pre-production after I have my rough idea about Solan Cast. By the way, the story is about the main character Cass don't want to leave the school. Basically, it's also my anxiety of graduate from CalArts because I don't know what's out there. I was very nervous. And here are some character design. I think I have posted on my Instagram. Yeah, and this cast in different uniform. And let's see, this those are just some test shot. And this is my animatic. This is my the sixth version of my animatic. And also I built a very rough, like low poly, 3D 3D model in Blender, so I can see the angle of my character. Well, it's not exactly what she looks like, but it gives me a feeling of volume, and when I drew or when I drew in like harmony, I can easily use it like or even trace it. So these are all the pre-production. And yeah, so first I will show you the storyboard of this shot. This shot is number 50s. And I think I can quickly grab it from my schedule. Well, that was a long ago. Well, you can see it's really messed, but I can describe a little bit. Like for this part, shot number, and description is just a storyboard of this shot. And for this part, it's for reference, like wait, like here. Can you enlarge it? Like here, it's a established shot, like they were help Bear to packing up all the stuff. So I was thinking the space, how could I staging everything? And I saved this page, and I was like, maybe this can be inspiring for my reference. And here's some dialogues, like because why I need this part is because I need to work with my voice actors, and after after I have the nights, like the voice actors recording my nights. Oh, by the way, the voice actor of Cass, like Emily Ging, is in the chat too. Thank you for coming. And then I can animate accordingly. And this is like difficulties, like to give me a sense of how long I may use on this shot. For 3x, I think it may take me a week. And here's BGs and animation rough and cleanup and coloring. If there's some friends offering to help, I will put the names there. And also if I need Blender for anything, and then it goes to compositing and editing. I think Vivian has already covered this process. And for my shot, for the breakdown shot 50, it's over here. You can see it's really like scrambles. Well, because the for my own film, I didn't draw my boards really clear. Like basically only myself can understand what's going on there. The advantage the advantage of it is like I can do it really quick and I can easily change it if there's any new ideas comes out. But the difficulty and the problem of doing this is like others couldn't understand. It's hard to communicate. Yeah, so it depends on you if you really in a hurry. Well, I don't think this is a good way for everyone, but for me, it's useful. Yeah, so this is my storyboard for shot 50. Sorry. And and then I won't jump into animation directly. Um but I will use Blender for layout. Yeah, here. So after storyboard, I kind of have the image on my mind, like what the shot will looks like. So I will use Blender to build it up. I can show you. Well, before I show you, oh, maybe I should just show the Blender file. I will explain. Here's the shot. If you remember, there's a turn. Like, this part is for camera. Is for camera. And this part, like you can just change stuffs and prompts here. Well, it's really small here, and around it, this half dome is like the background of this shot, and there are also some particles like there are stars in the shot if you can see, and here's my pointers. Like there are 3 pointers. And what else? Oh, and there's the atmosphere box around it. I couldn't render it in my computer because it's really not good for 3D because I did all my 3D parts in school lab. The computers in school are always better my own. So you can see here's the atmosphere box and also this little particles. Yeah, so this is my Blender file and I animated the camera. So, and time it out. So it looks like this. You can check this part. And
Wow.
instead of render it, because if you render it, it really takes a tons of time, which is not necessary. So I just recording the screen and use it in my animation files. So here's a tie down layout of the pointer while recording it. I don't know what happens here, but it doesn't matter. I didn't use this. And here's the very first version of Blender layout. You can see the pointers are totally different and the background is just a test, like to give me a sense of it. Well, this part probably took me 3 or 5 days, 3 to 5 days, because I need to warm up with Blender, and also all this little stuff I need to modeling it. Well, a little trick about camera moving, like you can only decide the first image, like compose the first image and the last image. How would you like it? I like this vertical and the vertical line of here, and also this angle can kindly cover more informations, like when cats come here and push the pointer. So you can just lock down the first image and then the last image, and save the keyframe, and then just let it run. So you don't need to like go here and say, oh, what should this part looks like? It's really doesn't matter when it moves. So just the first image and the last image.
There's a question for you.
Yeah.
Did you trace over the 3D pointers in the final shot?
Well, I will show you later. You'll see. Yeah. Because I will have a character over there. Wait, maybe I should show the final first, so you guys could have a sense of how it looks like. Sorry, I should do this at the first point.
Okay, you
Give
got
me
this.
1 second. I was really happy everyone come here. Like everyone has their own ideas on hand. Like how many? 65 people. Oh, great.
Don't look at the counter. Don't do it. Keep going.
I'm sorry. Wait, yeah, here it is. Reference, final. Okay, here. Um, animation. Yeah, here's the final, how it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the shot. So so because there's a counter, so I need to know the scale of the counter. I kind of insist on to keep the characters size scales like I hope it can make sense, like the scales instead of become suddenly bigger or smaller. I think you don't need to, because it's animation. You don't have to be such strict. I think it's just me being annoying. So I put some little similar counter there. Well, I download this from Adobe's website as a reference, so you can see how big it will be, so you can have a sense of it and won't make it like nonsense, and yeah, as scientific as possible. No scientific for animation. Yeah, for the question before, if I trace it, no. I exported it, but I make it as much as looks like 2D in Blender. So you can see it's like this, all the sharp edges. I kind of couldn't play it. It's a little bit big, too big. Yeah, like this. To figure out how to render layer by layer takes me like 2 days to figure out, like to find a tutorial on YouTube and to learn how to do this. So this pointer and this particles, well, oh, wow, it's all white. No, you couldn't see it here, sorry. Because it's PNG file, so the background looks like white. But I guarantee you there's something, there's like little particles there. Yeah, and at that point when I render it, I didn't know if I want how I want it looks like. So just in case, I also rendered the grace pencil uh grace pencil alone, but I didn't use it on my finals because I think this is good enough for me. Yeah, and finally we come to, so for Blender there are two parts, in short, like one is for reference for animation, for my animation. So I recorded this thing and put it in my animation as a layout. And the second part is like I rendered all the background stuffs. So now we can come to animation finally. Yeah, this is my rough animation. Jump. And here are just some keyframes, like makes me time it out. So after I decided how long this shot would be, I couldn't change the time anymore. I have to lock it down, because if I change anything in Blender file, everything gonna change. That's kind of insane. So for this shot, I spent more time on layout part. So here's the file. I animate in Harmony. For me, why Harmony is better than TV Pen is that it has like infinity canvas, and also it's based on vectors. So you can just, let me see, and just select it and move it around, or just delete it. Yeah. I will play this frame by frame. Well, it looks smooth, but it's actually on streets, basically. So let's go. Yeah, that's it.
I have a question, or one, Aaron has a question. They're wondering how much animation practice you had before creating this project. Was this your first short film?
No, it isn't. It's my first year film. Like I said, CalArts students need to make their film every year, so it's my first shorts officially. Yeah. There's another question. I forgot what.
Yeah, how much
what-
animation practice did you have before creating this?
I couldn't count, because I'm attending an animation school, so basically every day I think there are homeworks, like, yeah, you know, everything. Homeworks for 2D animation, and also doing the animation for my own film. Yeah. So that's the animation part. It didn't bring this continuity all at once. I drew the keyframe first, and then drew the in-betweens. So here's the keyframes, like the cleanup keyframes. Here. Yeah. So keyframes is kind of help you to break down a whole sequence, like let's say 5 seconds of animation, like one by one, like one pose to another, so you won't feel there's a very heavy or stressful workload. Like for example, this part, this is A pose, and this is B pose. A pose is on the pointer, B pose is jump down. So you can just filling in betweens based on how well it moves. So let's see where it is for this part. Oops. Here, I think it's here. Yeah, here she kneels down. This on the pointer, and 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. So you kind of break it down with two filling in like 2 in betweens. It makes you feel less stressful, hopefully. Yeah, after this, I use After Effects to put everything together. Well, After Effects actually took me as much as the time of animating, or even more, because for me, I figure out like either animations or Blender, or let's say effects animation, they are just factors to put together, make the whole image. So I think I spend the most time in After Effects. Let me pull the file here. Yeah, it's crazy. Layer after layer. So this is how final image looks like. This is the ball, like the ball she kind of jumped down from. And maybe I can just show this one. Yeah, let's click into it. So the ball didn't move at all, you can see. It's just a material for me to play with. It really move out, it's from this part. Like I think I add some, yeah, here I keyframe the movement here to make it as smooth or as beautiful as I want. And let's see, and the animation, you can see the shadows on the animation is all done on After Effects. Maybe I should put it closer. Wait, how should I? Let's see, full render. Well, you noticed on the animation file on Harmony, there's only one basic color here. No more like shadow or lighting, because it's like more works to do. For me, it's just one person project. Like I need to do all the 60 shots of animation and background. It's crazy. So I decided just to use plain color and play it in After Effects. If you have more time, I encourage you to do so, because it may give you more texture on it, which I couldn't make it in my film. So you
I have
can
a
see this
question.
gradient.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I think there's a
go ahead.
question for you. Is there a reason why you decided to use After Effects instead of staying in Harmony for compositing?
Well, Harmony is hard. Like all the I don't know. I totally don't know how to use all the compositing stuffs in Harmony. I think it's crazy for me. Wait, let me show you. Well, you technically you can, but I think After Effects is more professional or more useful for effects or compositing. Well, for me, it looks like it is that, but I also know many tutorials on YouTube, like to teach you how to do it in nude view, right? I don't know how to do it. That's my shortage. So in Harmony, I use it as TV Pen. It's just a animation tool for me to do. I hope that answer your question.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. or even crazier, like people use Blender for compositing. I couldn't do that either. Yeah. So because I practiced in After Effects from my first year, so I think I'm more familiar and more confident about it. Yeah. You can see this gradient. I did all this stuff in After Effects to save time and to make my best to make it like looks good as possible. We don't know how to move. No, see, I forgot the shortcut of After Effects already. It's really, if you don't practice, just forgot everything. Anyway, I just want to say, like the spin light is also done in After Effects. If I pull it here, you can say this where the beam light comes out. Yeah. I just make it as a mask and then put it on the top of this original file. Well, you can find the tutorial online, I think. And the gradient is a mask. So this the original one, and this the mask, and you blur it, so it will have this beautiful gradient effect. Anyway, that's just an example. So the background, I already showed the original file on Blender. Then I render it, I put it on the After Effects, and I just adjust the color or add some this soft beam around it, and make the color more harmony or more peaceful or just what just whatever I like. Yeah, here's a very subtle reflection of cast. Oops. Yeah, it's when she kneels on the pointer. I think there should be a little shadow there, so I added there. Well, I already forgot how to do this, but basically it's also a mask on the on the uh on the on the file you render out of the pointer. Wait, yeah, this is not. Well, I know this is confusing.
No
Well,
worries.
when you
Don't worry.
when you really need to do this, you I think everyone can accomplish this step by step. Just looking for tutorials, like looking for help from people. Yeah, this reflection. So this shape. So if you make the whole pointer animation as a mask, the reflection can move alongside the pointer. You don't have to animate it again. Yeah. Anyway, after I happy about everything, I just render it out. So uh it becomes like this. I wanted to show you guys how and then you go into editing. I use Premiere for editing. I hope to show you guys how it looks like.
While
Since
you're
my
looking, while you're looking for that, there's another question for you.
okay.
Yao Ting asks, amazing, talented artist. They're wondering if you can share what some of your favorite directors, live action included, and artists.
Oh, live action director
Yeah, your favorite.
and my favorite. Oh wow. So far it's Villeneuve, Denis. The one made Blade Runner 2049. Well, I think it's a group work to make a film. It's not one director's credit. But as you mentioned, I think the whole thing comes out like blowed my mind, like all the compositing or the story, like how Kay suffered from self-identified. I was crying for him. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite artist as well?
Favorite artist? There's a lot. Well, I don't think I have favorite, like favorite, because I think I just like to inspire from every. I appreciate every artist like unique aspect. So I just grab. I like to click the images I like from every artist. I really don't have a favorite one, but recently I can show you the artist like I'm kind of into.
We are running
Oh
out
yeah,
of time, but
right.
feel free to finish showing whatever it is you want to show because it sounds like people want to see it. So I just want
Oh
to let
okay.
you know.
Sorry, I should reserve more time
No,
for
no,
you.
no, it's okay. Go ahead.
Oh, I hope it's really helpful for everyone so far instead of me like
No, I
show.
love seeing process
Okay,
and
nice,
this is fun.
great. This is the most close to our deadline, so I guess this file is the final exporting file. Oh, here we go. It opens. It always takes tons of time to open
Oh yeah.
Adobe files.
Yep. The loading screen.
Yeah. Anyway, let me show you the artist I like recently. I think I like this one's the artist I like recently. I like the idea, and she didn't be crazy about making it more detailed or anything. It's just the ideas and all the vibes. I know it looks kind of dark, but I like it. Yeah, it's really put together. And also there's one artist did the juice set, the new games, visual concept. I also like it. Sometimes I just pull all the stuff here. It's called Ego. Like uh it's a free just like picture decks for yourself. This the juice set art. Well, also, the same as Mosa, they didn't go very detailed into like being picky into the details. You can see the brushes and the colors here. I really like it. Yeah, like this, and all the perspective is right, and the compositing makes me feel good. And this one, oh, look at those, the big and small. Yeah, that's the two artists I'm looking up right recently. Oh, I guess here's too much.
Almost there.
Sorry everyone for waiting here. So like, I have no idea how crazy this file is. That this file was. Uh, so here is like music part and all the dialogues part, and these are all my rough. You can see uh nice. This is the cleanup animation, and so I prefer to put after every time I finish one stage, like maybe animation, maybe compositing, I just update it here. Uh, it's built up together until the end. It built up from my very sketchy, scrambling storyboard till this final image. If I can find my animatic,
Love this shot.
you. Oh no, it's not here. Okay, maybe I lost it. Well, this is the rough. For example, this is a rough of the number 25. It's just cast in along in darkness. And if I search 25, let's see. It's the first. It's the second. Oh, I think I delayed this shot. Do I? Oh no, I didn't. Yeah, this is the final compositing. Yeah. And I just put it layer by layer here. And also the subtitle is also done in Premiere. If you're gonna submit to animation festivals, they will ask you for the file for the file. Yeah, that's it, I guess. Thank you.
Yeah, Jingqi.
Thank you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Let me see. The closeout. Let me see if I can share my screen one more time. Share. All right, we did the overall, I think we've been answering questions in the chat, but if there's any lingering questions right now, I'm scanning.
Yeah,
Feel free to ask, but other than that, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
should we take a group photo?
Yeah, so
feel free
I
to
first want to
tag us.
thank Legends. Yeah, we'll take a group photo. Yeah, I want to thank Legends Animated, you, Jingqi, the AIA team, and of course all of you for attending. I encourage you to sign up for events, and if any of you want to stay like connected and stuff like that, since I've been seeing in the chat you're looking for people to work on films together, becoming a member and joining the AIA Discord is a great place for questions, comments, and fun. And now, if people want to turn on their screens, we can take a group photo. Oh, wait, I think I saw a question.
Warriors,
Something.
nice.
Oh, hey, lovely.
Hi.
Love seeing all your faces.
Hi, Yorick. Hi, Hetty.
Jingqi, what was the name of your second favorite artist?
What?
If you know the name. If you don't, that's okay.
Maybe in the future I will know. Well,
Yes.
is my first favorite, I think.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna take a screenshot. 1, 2, 3. And then I'll do one more just in case. Yeah. All right. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. And have a great rest of your day.
Yeah. Feel free to tag me or chat with me. Thank you guys for coming.
Yeah.